Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6 and today we are going to present a case study in a Moneyball movies which focus on a change management analysis of Sabermetrics. Our group consists of 5 persons led by ZAHED bin Abdul Aziz, next QISTINA binti Abdul HAMID, IZZATI ALIAH binti SAMIA'AN, IZZATI binti MISUAN and ALIAH binti AZIZOL. My name is NURUL IZZATI and I'm going to start the presentation with introduction on Moneyball movie. Moneyball is a fascinating sport drama film based on a real-life account that chronicles how analytics transform baseball. In 2022, a film titled Moneyball brings into focus a sport drama that involves Billy Beane, a sport administrator at the Auckland Athletic, a baseball team that has little to spend on player salaries but is pitted in a contest with baseball giants. This movie is an inspiring tale of innovation, boldness, and challenging established convention. Okay, next I'm going to continue on the overview of Sabermetrics as a change initiative. Based on these movies, it shows the impact of Sabermetrics that lies in overturning all the traditionally accepted practices, which have started transitioning towards making decisions based on less human judgment and more on data and statistically.
In this section, I will explain the role of emotion in the change process using the movie Moneyball. Although Moneyball appears to present a conflict between data-driven decision-making and traditional institutions, the deeper issue is emotional. The resistance to change shown in the film is rooted in emotional attachment, professional identity, and a fear of losing relevance rather than logic alone. Billy Beane and Peter Brand promote analytics as a rational system, yet Billy Beane's decisions are strongly influenced by emotion. His rejection of subjective judgment stems from his personal failure as a highly rated prospect, which made him distrust traditional scouting methods. His fear of losing is also evident, as he avoids watching games and seeks control through a predictable data-driven system. Ultimately, his actions are driven by deep passion for baseball and a desire to create fairness for small market teams. On the other hand, traditional scouts rely heavily on emotion, experience, and institution. Their judgments about a player's look and heart are subjective and emotionally based. Their strong attachment to traditional scouting leads to anger and resistance when analytics threatens their expertise and professional identity. Overall, Moneyball shows that emotion is a powerful force in organizational change, influencing both resistance and support for change. Successful change management must therefore address emotional responses, not just rational arguments. Next, I will explain resistance to change in the movie Moneyball. Resistance to change in Moneyball occurs mainly because Billy Beane's analytic-based recruitment strategy is unfamiliar and threatens existing power structures. Traditional scouts resist the change because they have spent years evaluating players based on experience and institution. The introduction of data analytics makes them fear losing authority, relevance, and influence within the organization, which causes defensive and negative reactions. Another major source of resistance is the team manager, Art Howard. He believes his experience gives him the right to control team decisions, particularly the player lineup. Billy's new system limits his autonomy, making him feel powerless. As a result, Art refuses to fully support the change and continues using traditional coaching methods. Overall, Moneyball demonstrates that resistance to change often comes from fear of losing control, status, and familiarity. This highlights the importance of leadership in managing resistance during organizational change.
Assalamualaikum and good day. So my name is ABDUL and I will be explaining on two slides, which is including the change management analysis and tactics to overcome a resistance based on the article and the movie of Moneyball. So to begin with, let's try to I will be explain about the Moneyballs that using the change the Lewis change model, which consider of unfreeze, change, and a refreeze. Right. So to begin with, the unfreeze stage in Moneyball occurs when Billy Bean realized that the Auckland Athletic cannot compete financially and financially using a traditional scouting method. The team lost key players to wealthier clubs, and Mr. Billy Beans understand that if, let's say, he continuing with the same approach, this team will be lead to repeated failure. And according to Lewins, unfreezing require challenging existing belief and creating awareness that the current system no longer works. In the movie, this stage creates strong discomfort because scouts and managers have relied on intuition and experience for decades. Discomfort is a natural response as the change threatens their professional identity and expertise. And that's the change stage. Okay, so which is the most difficult phase in Lewin's model? So in Moneyball, Mr. Billy Beans, this stage begins with the introduction of Sabermetrics, which is a data-driven approach to player evaluation. So Mr. Billy Bean, together with Peter Brand, the partner, and the team manager, resist following Bean's strategy, which is during the game. Lewins explained that resistance during the change phase is expected because individuals and this company or this club are required to abandon familiar practice and adopt new behaviors. Despite this, Mr. Billy Beans continues with the implementation by enforcing decision and relying on the data rather than opinions. This just demonstrates that effective change management requires persistence and leadership during period of uncertainty. And finally, the refreeze stage occurs when the new approach becomes accepted as the organizational norms. In the Moneyball itself, refreezing is achieved through performance success, particularly the term's 20-game winning streak. This success validates the effectiveness of Sabermetrics and reduce resistance among stakeholders. As Lewin suggests, refreezing is stabilized change by reinforcing the new behavior through consistent result. Over time, analytic decision making become embedded not only within the Auckland Athletic itself, but also across Major League Baseball, showing that the changes was successfully institutionalized. Alright, so for this slide, I will focus on the tactic used to overcome resistance during the implementation of Sabermetrics in Moneyball. So resistance in the movie primarily or from the article primarily comes from the scout and the team's manager, who fear losing their authority, expertise, and relevancy. This aligns with the change of management theory. Also explains the resistance often stem from emotional and psychological threats rather than logical disagreement. The first tactic used by Mr. Billy Beans is a leadership authority. When persuasion fails, Beans enforces decision using his position as a GM or general manager. He overrides traditional decision-making process and insists on implementing Sabermetrics to Sabermetrics despite opposition, right? So this reflects Kotter's views that strong leadership is sometimes necessary to prevent change initiative from being blocked by entrenched interests. So the second tactic is use of data-driven evidence. Rather than engaging in emotional argument, Binti relies on statistics to justify player selection and the strategy. Sabermetrics shift discussion from subjective opinion to objective performance measures. This reduces resistance by reframing decision-making around facts rather than tradition, making it harder for opponents to dismiss the change. Another important tactic is structural intervention. When resistance continues, Mr. Billy Binti remove obstacle by restructuring the team, including trading players who prevent a new strategy from being executed. This demonstrates that resistance cannot always be negotiated away and sometimes must be addressed through organizational restructuring. Binti also demonstrates persistence under pressure, even when results are uncertain early in the season. He remains committed to the strategy. This consistency signals confidence in the change and prevent the organization from reverting to old practice. And finally, early performance wins play a crucial role in overcoming resistance. The team winning streak serves as tangible proof that Sabermetrics works. This issue converts skeptics into supporters and reinforces acceptance of the new approach. According to change management theory, early wins are essential for building momentum and legitimizing the change itself.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am ZAHED ALIAH and I will present on the impact of Sabermetrics on team performance and culture. First, strategic and transformational change. Billy Binti changed how the Auckland Athletics selected players. Instead of using scouts' opinion and gut feelings, the team used player statistics to find undervalued players. This new approach helped the team win many games despite having a small budget. Secondly, cultural change. The use of Sabermetrics challenged the traditional baseball culture. Many staff were used to relying on experience and intuition, so they felt threatened by data and resisted the change. Over time, as results improved, the organization accepted data-based thinking, creating a new culture. Thirdly, change in communication and decision-making. Before, decisions were based on senior staff opinions. After Sabermetrics, decisions were based on data and statistics. This gave more influence to people who understood data, such as Peter Brand, and changed how decisions were made. Last but not least, industry-wide change. Other baseball teams saw the success of the Auckland Athletics and started using analytics too. This slowly changed Major League Baseball from a traditional base sport to a data-driven industry. Sabermetrics reshaped how players were valued and selected across the whole league. Next, I will present about the lesson learned for change management practitioner. Moneyball showed that successful change is more than just a good idea. It requires strong leadership and a clear understanding of people's perspective. One of the most important aspects of change is creating a sense of urgency, as people are more likely to accept change when they see the risk of staying the same. Billy Binti recognized that with a tight budget, innovation and creative strategy were essential to compete effectively. The movie also highlights that resistance to change is normal, especially when it challenges people's experience, identity, or authority. Leaders must be prepared for both rational and emotional objection. Effective communication is critical, and obstacles to change must be addressed decisively, such as when Ben replaced players and staff who registered the new system. The firm also demonstrated the importance of short-term wins, like the Athletics 20 games winning streak, which reinforced the new approach and encouraged acceptance across the team. Over time, these changes helped shift the organizational culture as people gradually adopted new ways of working, showing that early success and consistent leadership can drive long-term transformation and lasting impact.